Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 horror thriller creature feature Beast, a film that is directed by Baltasar Kormakur and it stars Idris Elba, Leah Jeffries, Liana Haley and Sharlto Copley. Now the film focuses on Idris Elba's character Nate and his two teenage daughters. Now he is heading out to Africa. His ex-wife and the mother of his two daughters has passed away. So they're heading out to Africa because she was like a photographer. She's been out there a few times, taken lots of pictures. She loved the place. So he's taken his daughters out there in the hope that he can reconnect with his daughters because he'd already split with their mother. Whilst there, he meets up with Sharlto Copley's character Martin, who obviously knows him, knows his deceased wife, and he facilitates their staying over in Africa and takes them on like a tour the following day to look at some of the beautiful wildlife. Whilst out on this tour, they are faced with a savage lion that has gone rogue and has been killing villagers and now got its sights firmly set on Idris Elba and his family. Right, what are my thoughts on Beast? Well, it's a creature feature at the end of the day. The trailers have been quite prominent. They've been pushed on YouTube, Facebook, all over the shop, really, the trailers. So it's a film I've certainly been interested in because I like creature features like this. My personal favourite lion-based creature feature is The Ghost in the Darkness, and I have reviewed that on the channel fairly recently, certainly within the last 6 months, I think. I just think that's a really good creature feature, and it's based on reality as well. I don't think this film is based on any reality. But if you like a well-made, certainly very, very watchable, with a few thrills and scares thrown in, creature feature type film, you're going to be entertained by this one. Is this elevated to an excellent film? I don't think so. But it certainly at times had me on the edge of my seat. And I thought it was a very, very enjoyable romp, if you like. I think the main issue I have with this film is probably the script. It's one of those scripts that's like been churned out by a Hollywood computer. You know, the dad at odds with his teenage daughters after splitting with the mum's died. He goes over to Africa. Sharlto Copley's so underwritten, his character, as all the characters are really. It's almost like they're trying to engineer like empathy and sympathy for these characters, Idris Elba and his daughters, and it all just feels for me a little bit forced. And to be perfectly honest, I found the teenage daughters, and certainly one in particular, to be really goddamn annoying at times. Very screechy. I mean, you're being attacked by a savage lion. I get it. It's terrifying. But before even the lion turned up, they were getting on my nerves because they were basically really whiny teenagers that I just couldn't relate to at all. And there was one scene in the film that I thought was particularly silly. They're hiding out in this jeep. They've already been attacked. They're fighting for survival. And then one of the daughters decides to have another pop at him for leaving the mother before she died. And I'm just like, really? Right now? Do you think that's a good time? And even though the other sister kind of shuts it down, it's just like, that's just not reality. People don't talk like that in them scenarios. So it just felt like the dialogue and everything, the characters were... They didn't feel like real people, and they felt they were just written from a Hollywood computer. So for me, that was the major problem I had with this film. The whole script is very, very paint by numbers, and there's other scenes in the film where these poachers turn up, and Idris Elba thinks, "Oh, I'm saved. Me and my daughters are saved." No, Idris, the only reason those poachers are there is for cannon fodder for this lion. That's the kind of Hollywood film that we're dealing with here. You know what I mean? It's very, very simple and easy to predict. But that doesn't really make it any less entertaining at the same time. Yes, you will roll your eyes here and there at this film as to how, like I say, paint by numbers it is. But it also couples that with some really thrilling moments. When the lion... I think it does a good job of kind of generating this fear factor for this lion, because initially they find like this village that has been mauled by this lion, and it's pretty horrific stuff. And you start getting this sense of fear and dread for this lion when it turns up. And when it first turns up, you're kind of like, oh my god, this is not. It's not messing about. This. It's you get the impression it's very, very ferocious and very, very frightening. And Idris is a good actor. He does project that fatherly love for his daughters and needing to protect them. He does that really, really well. In fact, he's the best thing in the film. I just wish they'd developed the Sharlto Copley character a bit more. He's a great actor. He only seems to get roles like this now when they're based in Africa or something like that, and he's much better than that. We've seen it time and time again. He's an excellent actor, and I think he could have maybe offered a little bit more to this film if they'd have taken a bit of time to flesh out his character. So yeah, I mean, it's good. The ending for me was a little bit, again, forced, predictable, and unbelievable from my perspective. But it did keep me on the edge of my seat. And it's ultimately watchable. But for me, if I had to choose between a lion creature feature, it would definitely be The Ghost in the Darkness. And if you haven't seen that one, it's got Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas in. And like I say, it's based on true events that happened. And that, I think, is far more effective than this film. But this film, if you like a good creature feature, and certainly a well-made creature feature, you could do far worse than this one. And just to say as well, the cinematography, the scenery is beautiful. I mean, they've really captured the spirit and the beauty of Africa, which is one of the things that does shine through in this film. So, from my perspective, it's a good time at the cinema. There were plenty of thrills and excitement. The CGI is decent, if not brilliant, and it will certainly fill a gap if you like a decent creature feature. So I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I really hope you found it useful, and of course, I will be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.